What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I've uploaded anything on this channel. I think it's been about almost 2 years. Some other stuff happened, and this channel kind of took a back seat, but we're back now. And right now, we're starting off with a video that I actually made about 2 years ago and meant to put it up, but never did. But we're doing it now. This is going to be an outfeed table for a table saw. What you're not going to see in this video is I actually build a table for the table saw that's going to be built the exact same way as this outfeed table you're about to see, but obviously smaller, so it holds the table saw. So that way, when you obviously this is an outfeed table, so you want the table saw to push your board straight onto the table, and so yeah, you're going to see this outfeed table being built. The video's sped up, so it's not going to be super immersive in terms of the details, but I'll do my best to walk you through what's going on here. I mean, it's super simple table, literally just 2x4s and I think a 1/4 inch OBS or plywood it was. So real quick before we start, I had about 18 to 20 2x4s, I think, in this. Right now, 2x4s are about $366 a piece. Maybe 2 years ago, they were $330, $340, somewhere around there. So if you add that up, you're probably looking at somewhere between $70, $75 for the 2x4s. Plus, it was $40 in plywood, which I had to buy a 4x4 plywood because I didn't have room in my car to obviously transport an 8-foot board. So I bought two 4x4s, which they're about the same for a 4x8 foot, about $40. And then this is optional, but I decided to put mine on caster wheels so I can move it out and move it in if I wanted to. Those were about $5 a piece, so I put four on each, or four for each table, four for the big outfeed table, four for the table that the table saw's on. So that was about $40 in caster wheels. So you're looking at roughly about $150 to $155 total to build this table. If you don't want to do the caster wheels, you can just do the legs with no wheels. That takes $40 off. So what are you looking at? $115, $120 to build this whole table, which it's not bad. Gives you some experience, something to do in the shop if you got an old table lying around, and $120 to $150 for a nice, sturdy, solid table it's going to let you do everything you want. The size of the table is 63 by 48. 63 is a little weird. That's just how it came out. 63 by 48 with the total height being 38 inches. So 36-inch legs with the 2-inch caster wheels that are on the bottom makes it 38 inches. So, I mean, it's not bad. $120 if you don't want the caster wheels, 150-ish if you do. Here we go. Let's get to building. Here we go. We're going to be starting off with the legs. Like I said, each legs are 36 inches. And what I did here for the legs, I cut them I'm using two legs. Well, you'll see a little bit later on. They're going to be 36 inches. And what I did, so I didn't have to constantly measure, because I'm cutting, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8 of these. So I just screwed on a little stopper at the end right there. As you can see, I'm just pushing it towards so I don't have to waste my time measuring a bunch of times. But 36 inches. Going to cut them down real quick. Then you see here, I'm going to be gluing two together, so they're basically 4x4s, which you can buy 4x4s if you want, but 4x4s right now are going for like $9-10 a piece for 8-foot 4x4s, which would be about $36 if you wanted 4 of them to do the legs. This is going to be a little bit cheaper. Just glue and screw your 2x4s together to make a 4x4, and that's only going to be about $16. So any way you can do to save money, if you want the 4x4s, do the 4x4s. I mean, there really is no difference. These are going to be sturdy. The glue is going to hold stronger than the screws are. So it's up to you, I guess. We're just going to repeat the process 4 times. Glue, spread it with your finger. Who needs a brush or anything? Just wipe it off on the other board. Screw them in with my comically big extender on that drill right there. It's the only one I had, and I hate just putting the bit straight into the drill. Now this time we're going to be going on to the side pieces, the longer side pieces, which these boards are going to be cut at 60 inches long. So you're going to need 2 for the top, 2 for the bottom. So 4 at 60 inches. And then these ones are going to be the side pieces, which are going to be a little bit smaller. These ones are going to be 48 inches. So you're going to be same thing, 2 for the top, 2 for the bottom, 4 for 48 inches. And the beauty of these at 48 inches, you can use 1 2x4, and you got 2 of your side pieces for each board. So now, as you can see, there's limited space in my workshop right here, so desperately needed a bigger outfeed table, but also one that could fit in my space. And as you can see, you'll see later on here, it takes up quite a bit of room, but when it's pushed up against the wall, it's perfect working space for me, and it's a perfect table for the outfeed table. You see the old one that the saw's on there, and it's great for not only your outfeed table to cut stuff on your table saw, but it's also great for putting your projects together. Nice open space and very sturdy. So like I said, for 120, 150 bucks, if you want to include the caster wheels, I mean, this is really the way to go. Then just hook it up with your clamps. Make sure everything's nice and flush. And we're just going to drill some pilot holes. We don't want no wood cracking here. I didn't glue these, which, I mean, you probably don't have to, but you can if you want, just for an extra sturdiness, but just the screws are fine. I think I put 2 in each. Then basically you do this. This is the longer side, 60-inch side, so you would repeat it two times. This really is just, it was an easy table to put together, and like I said, something to do if you have an older table, you need a little bit more space. I mean, 63 by 48 is a pretty good size to do basically whatever you're going to want to do. And this was built in mind to do other projects other than wood signs too. Obviously, the channel's called Routed Designs Wood Signs, but we want to branch out, do a little bit more stuff just like this. Maybe build some smaller woodworking projects, not always just signs carving. You're going to get some sign carving and that kind of stuff, but we're going to try to do a little bit more other projects, simple projects anybody can do at home. You don't have to be a master woodworker. As you see, I'm clearly not, but it's really not hard to put a simple little table together like this. Also, if you guys have any ideas for some smaller little projects, let me know what kind of small little woodworking projects you guys would like to see on the channel, in addition to some logos, some sign making, any type of that stuff. Let me know. And same thing here. This is going to be the smaller side. These ones are 48 inches. And same thing. Clamp them together, screw them in, and it's already a nice sturdy table right here already. And see, it's flipped over right now, and then we're going to do the bottom support ones. This is the long side, 60 inch. Same thing. I think I put the bottom board, I think it's 5 to 6 inches off of the ground right there. Well, off of the bottom of those 2x4s. So it'll be probably about 6 or 7 to 8 inches if you do the caster wheels. So, I mean, you can put them whatever way you want. It's not going to show in the video. I didn't record that part because it's just cutting 2x4s at 48 inches length. But on the bottom, I just ran 2x4s as sort of like slatted for just storage and stuff down there on the top of the bottom bars like that. So you can do whatever. You put plywood to make it solid. I just slatted them out, and you'll see the end pictures at the end. But whatever you want to do, basically. Lots of room for storage under there, too. That comically big extender on that drill is just hilarious. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Use what you have. And you can see I'm not using no high-end tools either. That's the cheapest corded cheapest corded drill you can get from Menards. I think it was like $20. Does what it needs to do and pinches like this. Usually I use my cordless drill, but I only have one, and one was used for the drill bits, and I'm not about to switch back and forth every 5 seconds from drill bits to screws. So all in all, worked pretty great. Same thing, just doing the other support side over here. Then we're going to go to the 48 inch side, do the 2 on the ends, and we can flip it over and put the top on. And now for the top here, I did a couple little support boards in the middle just to sturdy it up more. You probably should if you're going to put a piece of plywood. Obviously, you're going to put some plywood on top just to, you obviously don't want that middle just being nothing in it to support anything in case you got something heavy on it or it's going to sag down. So just put 2 or 3 if you want. I just put 2. And you'll see why I put the second one like this so far back, as in, like I said, I got the 4x4 plywood, which obviously it's not going to do the length of the 63 inches, so I had to put a piece of wood there so I had something to grab on, because my other piece of plywood that I cut is probably, I think, 10 inches or so. You had to cut a little sliver just to fill that back end part, but worked out great. You'll see. Obviously, the most sensible way, and the way you probably should do it, is just one full length of plywood. But I mean, it worked out good. Just screw it all in. Like I said, you see that little gap right there? If you wanted to do it this way, you don't have room to transport a big old 8-foot sheet, you can do the 4x4 like this, or you can get the big 8-foot sheet. 8-foot sheet's probably the way to go, but as you'll see right here, the 2 that I joined together, they are pretty flush, and I have no issues whatsoever. I just made sure that this bigger piece is the side that's going to be towards the table saw, so even if there was a little issue with one of the boards being higher than the other, then you're not going to have that issue on the other end anyway. So all right, so there you have it. There's the final product right there, all done and finished. As you can see on the bottom, like I said, I slatted those 2x4s for a little bit of storage. You might want to put them a little bit closer, but I mean, these ones work out. Very good. And as you can see on the side, you can screw in some stuff to hold your rulers, your measuring tape, whatever you need to. You can hang from the side. Put your clamps over there and do whatever you need to do. Pretty good, sizable table. That's the finished one we just did there, and then there's the littler table for the table saw. Like I told you, built the same exact way, just smaller to fit whatever size your table saw is going to be. And like I said, they both have caster wheels on them, so you can. This is perfect right there for just smaller boards. You don't need to move it, but if you need to, you can move both of these tables out and do big old boards, and you have all the room in the world. And it slides from the table saw to this outfeed table perfectly. I'm telling you, this is probably the best thing I've ever built. And here's another look just to give you a little close up at the legs. Like I said, pretty good stuff. I did not get footage of building that little table saw one, the one for the table saw. But like I said, it's literally built the same exact way as the bigger one. You just figure out what dimensions you want it. It could be bigger than that, but as long as your table saw is sitting flush with the outfeed table, so when you're feeding boards, you don't get caught up, because that's pretty dangerous. You don't want to have that happen while you're running a table saw, obviously. So you can do it however you want, but good little investment. $120, like I said, $120, $150 with the caster wheels. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that, to be honest. So, pretty cool. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, share us with your friends, comment. And like I said, comment down below if you, whatever you want to see, some smaller woodworking projects be done, sign designs, anything like that. And we're just getting started once again. We're going to work this channel up. Hopefully, do some good things here. So, hope to have you guys along for the ride, and we'll see you on the next video.